together, working hand in hand. It's easy if we all carry the load. Look at all we can do to build a better world. When you can trust in me and I can trust in you. So put your hands together. Together we can do anything, anything. We are one. One voice, one heart, one love. Whoa. We're gonna help this city all together now. We make a better story when we help each other out. With peace and understanding, you'll never walk alone. When you can trust in me and I can trust in you. The time is here, the time is now to take a stand and make it count. So put your hands together. Together we can do anything, anything. We are one. One voice, one heart, one love. Whoa, put your hands together. Together we can do anything, anything. We are one. One voice, one heart, one love. Whoa. One life, one voice. Come on now, shout it out. One life, one voice, come on now and shout it out. One life, one voice, come on now and shout it out. One life, one voice, come on now and shout it out. So put your hands together. Together we can do anything, anything. We are one. One voice, one heart, one love. Whoa, put your hands together. Together we can do anything, anything. We are one. One voice, one heart, one love. Come on, yeah.
Hey Kidville, the band is still here jamming, and we were just talking about how important each instrument is. Like, without the keyboard, there's not a lot of background fill-in, so it can sound kind of empty without some keys. Plus, it really helps with some of the melodies or the quieter parts of the songs. When you have a bass line, that brings some like depth and rhythm to the song. It sounds really funky. The electric guitar really takes it up a notch. We want to add some like cool riffs and make it sound more rocky. We want the electric guitar. And there's all kinds of other instruments out there that can add their own contribution and flair to a song. Maybe we'll get some of them in our band one day, but each instrument has to play in balance. So if they all try to get all the noise, all the glory and the fame, we can like drown each other out and we can totally clash. So sometimes like during the band, I don't play very much because it's another person's turn, which is totally cool. And we have to kind of each do our part. Well, the drums are so important because they keep the beat, they keep us going, right? So if we wanted to play faster or slower, or with a totally different rhythm, the drums keep us on track. So we thought it was only fair to give our drummer here a really good chance for a drum solo. In today's story, we are going to see some people working together and doing something not for their own glory, but for someone else. So let's check that out.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, From Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Exodus, chapter 17, verses 8 through 13.
God had freed the Israelites from slavery in Egypt and led them into the desert. But with no home of their own, the Israelites were still wide open to enemy attack as they traveled. One evening, as Moses walked through the camp, his assistant Joshua raced up.
Amalekites!
Where? How many?
Just a few men right now. They attacked at the rear, where many of the women and children are. But we beat them back.
They'll come in full force tomorrow.
Moses turned to survey the land around them in the last rays of the setting sun. The whole valley of Rephidim spread out before them. Nearby, a high hill provided a lookout for the whole countryside.
We have no army.
We'll have to fight. You choose our best men and get ready for battle in the morning.
Will you come with us?
No,
Moses pointed at the hilltop.
I'll climb up there and hold up the walking stick that God gave me.
Both men looked at the sturdy staff in Moses' hand. It was no ordinary stick. Moses had lifted the staff when God had parted the water of the Red Sea so the Israelites could escape.
Yes, sir. I'll call the men.
In the great chill before dawn, Joshua and his group of inexperienced fighters prepared for battle against the Amalekites.
I've never held a sword.
God has saved us many times. He can do it again.
As the ragtag army gathered at one end of the valley, Moses climbed the hill with his brother Aaron and his friend Hur.
So, Moses, what's the plan?
Yeah, those Amalekites got some mean fighters.
We'll call on God.
As the three men crested the hill, they turned to look back. The rising sun flooded the valley. They could see Joshua and the Israelites just below. At the far end of the valley, a vast swarm of Amalekites rushed forward.
Oh, more Amalekites than bees in a hive.
Within minutes, the two groups clashed. It was clear from the very beginning that the Amalekites had the upper hand.
They'll wipe us out in no time.
Wait.
At the very crest of the hill, Moses grabbed his staff and raised both hands high in the air.
Our God is stronger than any enemy.
In a short time, the tide seemed to turn.
Well, what do you know? Joshua's pushing them back.
The Israelites steadily beat back the Amalekite army. But as the sun rose and the heat increased, Moses' arms grew tired. Little by little, his arms sank down.
Uh-oh. The Amalekites have busted through our line right there.
We were doing so well.
God, help us.
With an effort, Moses lifted his hands high again. Joshua had formed a strong band of fighters, and once again, the Israelites surged forward. Moses lowered his arms to stretch.
Ah, my back! What just happened? Joshua had them.
Moses stepped forward to see, raising his hands high again. Aaron turned to stare at his brother.
It's your hands. When your hands are raised up toward God, we're winning.
Yeah, and when you drop them, those fool Amalekites start to win.
Yes, but I can't do this all day.
Moses' arms began to shake.
Hold it one more minute. I got a rock-solid plan. Aaron?
Together, Aaron and Hur rolled a huge stone to the place where Moses stood.
Now, you set yourself right down, Mo.
Carefully, Moses lowered himself onto the rock, fighting to keep his hands high in the air.
My arms!
We got it, brother.
Aaron and Hur each stood on one side of Moses and held up a hand.
Phew!
For the rest of the day, Aaron and Hur stood right beside Moses, keeping his hands steady. By sunset, Joshua and the Israelites completely defeated the Amalekites.
Look at him run!
The Amalekites had been defeated by God's power, but it was only by working together with his friends that Moses had been able to keep his hands lifted high all day.
The battle against the Amalekites took lots of cooperation, right? We have Aaron and Hur work together to help Moses, and then the three of them worked together to help Joshua and all of the Israelite warriors. And they got this thing done. God worked through all of them to do something miraculous, right? What a cool story. And what's cool is that none of the people did what they did for themselves, to make themselves look good or to give them the glory or get the attention, right? They did it to help someone else succeed, right? You and I can live that way too. That's our bottom line for today. Remember, work together to help someone succeed. All right, can you guys say that with me? Work together to help someone succeed. So you could help a friend with their homework, even if it's something that you studied last year, you have something to offer them. You could help your brother or sister clean their room, right? Even if you're not the one who made the mess. If a friend is involved in a sport that you don't play, you could still go watch them and make signs and cheer them on, right? Jesus once said, in everything, do to others what you would want them to do to you. So in other words, you should treat others the way you want to be treated. When you work with others to help someone else succeed, it's a great way to show someone that you love them. And not only that, it makes the work easier for everyone. So let's go work on that this week. Let's work together to help someone succeed. See if there's someone that you can cheer on. Remember to check out your devotionals on our website. We've got a parent guide there as well, and all of our activities and services going on here in Kidville. And who can you make succeed this week?
I'm going to do differently. Slow?
A little bit slower. A little bit slower.
Okay, come on. We just got to work together. Okay, a little faster.
What's that?
That was slow. Let's do a fast one.
That was very slow.
I need all the...
Too slow.
Yeah.
All right,
I need all
somewhere in
these.
between.